Good morning, students. Now, today we have to study about the ecological movements. We are going to focus upon that, and so far we have seen in our previous topics and the previous studies about the old and new social movements. Understand? Or now the many of the old social movement are now assimilated with the new social movements. Understand? Or the concept of the movements now changed. The movements changed. Here, or we see that some of the movements are the class-based movement, and some of the movements are the people's movement, or that affects that movements. Some of the movements are meant for the protections of the environment or the ecology, and this ecology protection of the ecology and the protections of the environment, can't be this kind of the environment can't be confined to a certain class or the no. This kind of the movement is the broader movement, and all section of the people, okay, are concerned in this kind or the join this kind of the movement for the protection of the environment and the for the protection and preservation of the ecological system, so that the human beings could exist or sustained, or the human resources or now the natural resources could sustain for the our coming generations. Understand? As we know that they are the we are the no we are the master, the main master of the human, master of the resources are who are the owner of these resources? Our coming generations. We are only the trustee of these resources. But what kind of the trustee we are now becoming? This is the quite clear and quite obvious to us. Understand how we are recklessly or the blindly destroying the movements, destroying the our natural resources and our natural or our ecology system. How the we are the creating. This is the and in the name of the development, the modern period we are living in the modern period, or this modern period now emphasizes, understand, much upon the development. Much emphasis is giving on the development, and over the decades, over the decades there has been a great deal of concern about the unchecked use of natural resources. Understand? For the decades we have seen that now the unchecked use of the natural resources, and that is the now and we are the on the verge of the collapse, on the brink of the destruction. Okay, we are the standing, and a model of the development that creates a new needs. Many of the model of the development, understand, every day different model of developments now comes in, and then according to that new needs comes to us. New needs come, and new needs now realized, and further demands for the greater exploitation of the natural resources comes, and already depleted natural resources. And although in this process of the development and the maximum demand of these natural resources, no doubt had depleted, and on the brink of the depletion of the natural resources, where we are standing now, because we have now spoiled, and we have now consumed the recklessly without the sustaining development. We have not just in the past, if you say, we have not adopted a sustaining development, and this led towards the complete depletion of the natural resources. And now this model of the development has been the critic for assuming all section of the people. Now this kind of the development is no doubt is a concern and associated with the all kind of the people, not only, and will be the beneficiary of the development. Okay, now here one thing is that in one hand the development is going on, but all people will not be the beneficiary of these developments. Only the few and the well-to-do will be the beneficiary, and all section. Thus big dams displace the people. One thing is that, okay, for the power, for the thermal or electricity, big dams are constructed. For the canals, big dams are the constructed. But where where these dams or the canals are being constructed, dams are constructed, the people of that area, the people who are living there, so that will not benefit, make the benefit for them. Understand? And big dams displace people from their homes. And what the result will be? These big dams now, no doubt, submerged the vast tracts of the land and the area or the settlement, human settlements and the fields take under the submergence of the water. Will be the submerged in the water. Understand? And the people who are the living there, they had to leave and evacuate that place, or their inhabiting place will be the or inhabiting, and they will have to be the displaced from their homes and their resources as well. But the resources they had there, that will be the lost, and their livelihood would lost. Industry displaced the agri. Now you know, a rapid growth in the industries, a rapid growing industries is now gnawing, understand, or devouring the large tracts of the lands and the cultivated lands. Arable lands are there. Agriculturalists, and from there, or the displaced these agriculturalists from their villages, from their houses, from their field, their livelihood, or in this way. And moreover, the impact of this industrialization, understand, industrial pollution is yet another story. And where the industry is constructed, the people now around living or that adjacent area, they suffered a lot by the pollution. Industries pollution, industries waste, understand, they suffered, but they have no any benefits of that industry. The beneficiaries are the belonging to the far away, they are the beneficiaries, but the people, local people, they have to only inhale the pollutions there. Understand? And the moreover, here we take the we can take the example ecological movement, examining the many issues and are interlinked in the ecological movement. One of the ecological movement we shall now we shall discuss here is that the Chipko movement. Okay, now Chipko movement, we know that Chipko, understand, now the embrace the trees or the restricting the cutting and felling of the tree. That means Chipko means that, you know, to embrace the trees so that it could not be the fell down and the cut down. Understand? To protect and save the. So that's a term, a Chipko term. Understand? Now the pertaining to the Chipko with the trees. Understand? And the Chipko movements, an example of the ecological movement. This is the one of the very prominent movements movements of our country, and this movement now arose in the Himalayan foothills, or this is the very good instances of the such intermingled interest, and this movement was launched, or it was the example of intermingled, assimilated, assimilated interest and the ideologies also. In this movement, they are inherent. This movement had the intermingled interest of the people and as well as the ideology, a mixed ideology. According to the Ramchandra Guha, or now he had written a very good book about that, Unquiet Woods. Unquiet, very title given a very effective title, Unquiet Woods. Woods we find the quiet. No? Generally, we see that the forests are very quiet, but here he had given the what a attractive title, that Unquiet Woods. Understand? Or the villagers rallied together to save the villagers. All the villagers there, they rallied together to save the oak trees. Understand? And the uh, rhododendron forest near their villages. Understand? When government, why the chipko started? When the government forest, the villagers wanted to protect this kind of the trees. Understand? But when the government forest contractor came to cut down this tree, understand? What incidents happen? Trees, villagers, understand? Villagers, including large number of women, understand, or step forward, large number of the women around that area, they stepped out and stepped forward from their homes and houses forward to hug the trees, to embrace and hug the trees, and to prevent their being felled, to prevent their being cut down. Understand? The women now came out, and the stake was the question of villagers, and what the menace was, that question of the villagers' subsistence, how to survive. Their subsistence was completely dependent, and they relied, understand, lasted on these trees. The question of their subsistence, question of their livelihood, their livings there, all them relied on the forest to get the firewood. All these women were dependent to get the firewood, fodder, and other daily necessities. Understand? Firewood, fodder, other animal for fodder for animals, fuels for firewoods. Understand? For their cooking and the other necessary daily necessary things. And this conflict placed the livelihood needs of the poor villagers against the government's desire. And now this movement was supposed to be the against the government's will or the government's desire, and as a to generate the revenue from the selling timber. Or this no doubt the government's taken on this case and the concern that the a barriers or the a ban or the hindrance in the way of getting the in way of getting getting the revenues for the government. Understand? They were the now hindering the revenue of for the government, and government wanted to gain the revenue by selling these timbers. Understand? As a just a this movements went on, or economy of the subsistence was pitted against the economy of profits. And here one thing is the two sides is here. One, economy of the survivals or subsistence economy, and economy for the or economy of the profits, getting the profits. Government wanted to make the huge profits, and this was the and failing was now going to directly affect the survivals or the subsistence of the villagers. There the two parts, the things is here, and along with these issues of the social inequality, villagers versus the government, that represented the commercial capitalist interest. The government represented the commercial and the capitalist interest. Okay, now avoiding the poor's requirements or the villages requirements. Government was now completely and a capitalist. The cheaper movement also raised the issue of ecological sustainability, and moreover, this movement later on enhanced and swelled and now converted into the movements of the ecological movement. It now converted and now come and change into the ecological movement or ecological sustainability. These movements now became the movement of the ecological sustainability. Cutting down natural forest was a form of environmental destruction. In this way, it was realized that cutting off the forest was directly destruction of the environment. Directly, it was a concern or it was related with the destruction of environment that had resulted in the devastating or as well as cutting if the forests are cut. Understand? So then after this creates the devastating floods and the landslides, floods, landslides in the hill area, and as well as this creates the floods in the plain area. Understand? And in the region for the villagers, these red and the green, and as well as for the villagers, these red and green issues were interlinked. These rays or green, red and green interlinked. While their survival dependent on survival of the forest, their survival dependent completely on the survival of the forest. Understand? Because they were completely dependent on the forest, which was going to be the cut down for the profits of the capitalist and for the profits of the government, and for the purpose of for the commercial purpose. Understand? So here the two, and they also valued the forest for its own sake. And the villagers now valued the forest for their own sake as a form of ecological wealth. Ecology is a kind of wealth. For that, the villagers now launched the movement that that ecology will now make the benefit to the all, not only the certain villagers. No, this ecological balance was concerned and related with all the human being who are living on this earth. So this kind of the movements benefit. In addition, chipper movement also expressed this movement also expressed the resentment of the hill village against a distant government headquarters. Also, this movement became the larger movement. Understand? Or now affected the government headquarters in the plain area also, and seemed different and the hostile to their concerns. And this became the widespread movement, the distance movement, even in the plain area. This movement, under the influence of this movement, understand, this movement became the national movement. Everywhere the peoples were standing for the protecting for the ecology, because they have to be the depend on the ecological system. They have to be the lived on ecology, with the ecology, and with the forest, with the vegetations. Understand? So now this movement so concerned about the economy, this the ecology, political representations underlay the Chipko movements. Understand? So now we see that this movement was much effective in this concern. Students, so now we see the Chipko movements or in the box number 8.5. Understand? In this box, the story of the have been the given. The different stories had been the given the 8.5 box, and moreover, the certain exercise questions had been the given here to done on the basis of these passage. On the basis of passage, you will have to be the try for that, and the next we shall studied about the peasants movement. Understand? The class-based movement. Peasants movement was a class-based movement. This movement was not class-based movement. This was the movement for all. The Chipko movement was movement for all because it was the concerned with the ecology, not only concerned with the economy of those villages. No, apart from that, it was associated with because it was associated with the forest, and forest on the large scale in the village in the India or in our country was being felled, being cut down. So it was elation carrier movements, which or the awakening carrier movements, which came about in the and which was the launched by that. One thing is that another movement we are going to see the peasants movement. Understand? The farmers movement. We shall see this and the study in the later class. This is the long topic for study. Understand? The farmers movement. We shall because the one of the this was the this will be the this will be the columnized or the it will be the categorized in a sectional movement or the occupational movement we can say, or the occupational movement or the pressure group. The farmers movement just like the categorized in the pressure groups. Understand? So students, we have studied so far about the environmental movement, or that is the and the long questions we will prepare. Understand? Or in the very carefully we should you should study for the objective questions. Understand? Or one thing is that peasants movement agrarian struggle have taken place from the pre-colonial days. One thing is that, understand, talk about the peasants movement. Now, if you study uh, study the Ashoka history, understand. So now Ashoka had to make the campaign to suppress the peasants movement. Understand? Why? Because the peasants always rose, and peasants say, not the taxation system, the revenue. You know that revenue was taken in the during the ancient period 1/6 of the from the peasants. Revenue was taken in the medieval period. The 1/3, 1/3 revenue was taken. Understand? Or now the when this is most sufferers, and we know that the peasants had been the always the sufferer in the economy or in the our not only in our country, all over the world. This class had been the sufferers, and they bear the economy, and they bear the all the burden of the state and statehood or the economy. They bear. Understand? So now we see that the Ashoka time, the peasants say Ashoka had to be the march against the peasants, but the peasants now cultivators say that if they are harassed by Ashoka now asked the regions. They said that if they are harassed by the local officials, they try to extract much revenue from them, and despite their ruin of the crops, and some always the farmers had to face the natural calamities, flood, tsunami, or the droughts. These are the great menace for the agriculture, and we know that our agriculture in India, agriculture is just like the gamble with the monsoon. Understand? So the farmer suffers, and if the governments, any government, did not and does not take care of the farmers now rose to the revolt. In medieval period, the most striking the farmers' revolts happened during the Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Understand? And how these farmers, why they revolted? Because the Muhammad bin Tughlaq increased the taxes in the Dwaba. Understand? And Dwaba, where the farmers were not able to pay, they became the unable, and they revolted. As a result, what happened? The a Sultan now became very furious and angry, or he marched against these farmers of the Doaba. And what happened? Now he took the actions, and these all the farmers escaped and took the refuge in forest. And it is said by the historians that Muhammad bin Tughlaq indiscriminately entered into the forest with the army, and these farmers were hunted down like the animals. Like the animals, they were hunted down. The thousands of farmers were hunted down in the jungles. Understand? As they protested or they raised the rebellions against the Sultan, or against the increase in the tax revenue system. So we see that the farmers say, or moreover, the farmers also raised the rebellions during the Aurangzeb time. Understand? Aurangzeb's period, and during the British period, sir, the farmers raised the movements. Okay, the Indigo farmers for their grievances, they raised the movements. Understand? Or we can see the Mahatma Gandhi now he took the just initiation for the resolve this problem of the farmers. Okay, so the time to time many of the farmers revolts happen whenever the authorities now they increased the state increased the revenue upon them, and the much revenues was taken from them, now leaving a very little for them. So then in that conditions, it used to be it becomes the hard for the farmers to bear such kind of the burdens. Say so they revolted. Understand that this class have the many of the grievances. Okay, so now we shall see the next period, the peasants movement. Okay, or we said today I am going to just wind up this